Hey guys, welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page. Make sure you drop a comment, like, subscribe,
do all the fun things.
follow.
Follow everything. We're here to entertain you guys.
What are you waiting for? Hurry up, let's go.
Enjoy.
Shit is struggling so hard today. I hope this is not a bad sign. Okay. Ready?
Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. This is our weekly rundown. My name's Adam Glyn. On the other side of the country is my friend Dax Holt. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Busy week. I am excited to just wrap this week up with some great content here. You know, we're here to basically bring you the best stories of the week so that you don't have to read through all the blogs, the websites, all of it. We will do it for you and hand deliver it on a little silver platter.
Yeah, this is our, on Wednesdays, we do an interview. This past week, we did an amazing interview with Talon from Laguna Beach. I strongly suggest you listen to that podcast. It was actually one of my favorite podcasts we've done in a long, long time. Maybe, I don't even know why, maybe because I'm just a fan of Laguna Beach, but also Talon was just so honest and real about it, where it was just great. It was just really cool for him to even go back and to think about a cool time of his life. So I strongly suggest to listen to the interview that we released on Wednesday with Talon. On Fridays, we drop our weekly rundown. Before we get to the top 10 stories of the week, we read your reviews live on air. Dax, do you have some reviews ready for us?
Got some for ya. All right, this one comes from Billie Eilish Fan Dudes. Says, my new fave, just want more episodes during the week. Damn, two's a lot. We are trying to keep up here. But thank you, Billie Eilish Fan Dudes. We appreciate the love. It means you want more of us, which is a good thing. All right, this one comes from Alicia. I don't know how to say this name. Great podcast. I've been listening for a few months and look forward to your episodes every week. The Facebook group has been a great way to keep up with everything going on. Love you guys. Love what you both are doing. Hell yeah. And thank you for joining the private Facebook group, Off the Record. You can find us on Facebook. It's a fun little community. We're having a great time. So please come join us. And everything's getting posted up there. Breaking news that we just want to talk about, things that, are just happening that we want to join in on the conversation with you guys.
Yes. All right. Do we want to do
all right?
Or are we going to get right into
it? One more. Let's do this one. This one is from Keely Nipper. Love you guys. I love Almost Honest. I love the Almost Honest, I'm Beyond the Blind stand depiction of Hollywood, an awesome lens, if you will, to see through. Keep it up, from Kip. Cool.
Very nice. Thank you,
I'm
Kip.
also a Beyond the Blinds fan. I love those two over there.
Yeah, they're
Kelly
great.
and Troy.
Very fun. They're awesome. All right, Dax, let's get to our top 10 stories of the week, starting with number 10.
The Golden Globes have announced who their host is going to be. It's going to be Jared Carmichael. He will MC the show. If you remember, Gerard. Oh my God.
Is it Jared or Gerard? I don't know if it's Jared or Gerard. Gerard Carmichael.
Gerard? I don't know. Sorry if I messed that up.
Yeah.
He's going to MC the show. If you remember the 2021 protest over racism and NBC refusing to air the show, it was a very big deal. So basically, the Golden Globes was essentially canceled last year. And their telecast, at least from coast to coast, was not televised by NBC because the parent organization, the Hollywood Foreign Press, needed to make some changes. There was an LA Times investigation that revealed the inner workings, including they had no black members since at least 2002. And so NBC said, get your shit together. And when it's together, we will begin re-airing it. So I think starting from the top, they said, well, let's diversify and let's get a black host. And that is what they did. So this is a good movement forward, I would say, for them. Listen, you got to start somewhere, and hopefully they have been hiring more people. Hopefully they've been diversifying within and not just hiring one host is my hope.
So Gerard Carmichael has been the industry golden child. If you ask a lot of comedians, they're like, what has this guy really done? I mean, the Golden Globes is a very big deal, but Gerard somehow has been this guy, and he's young. He's 35, but somehow like the industry has been like giving him stuff, but he hasn't really
Hmm.
proved himself to his colleagues. And they're like, why is he the golden child? Why is he get everything? Why is he even getting everything? Last year he even hosted Saturday Night Live, and people were like, how is this guy hosting Saturday Night Live when he
Dude,
hasn't
not only
done
that,
much?
he was nominated for an Emmy for his stint on Saturday Night Live. He's been nominated for he won an Emmy, and then he was nominated for the SNL one. So he's just one of those people that it's taken off for him. I mean, we clearly don't know how to say his name properly, but
Yeah,
I promise he is actually very popular.
he's popular with the. I don't know people who actually are fans of him. I'm not saying that's not
Hmm.
to put down his success or his talent, but I don't think a lot of people know who he is still. And the industry keeps no, you need to take this guy. You need to know who he is. I'm like, why? Like it's like the
Well, maybe
industry
they
has
see
like these.
something that the world hasn't seen yet. Like they're seeing that talent or they're seeing that spark or whatever it is.
It's been a while, so I don't know. When are we going to see it? Because it's been a while they've been pushing this guy on us. I wish they would just. There's a lot of other people out there that I think could do a great job. I mean, listen, if you're looking for diversity, I mean, I think uh, the guy in the Daily Show is really funny. Well, I think Keegan Michael Key would be incredible and fun and funny.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of talent out there. I'm very surprised by of all people Gerard Carmichael being chosen the host because it is such a big deal.
Some people just have the golden touch, or they've got an incredible team behind them that's
That's what I
able to
think it
get
is.
them in the right doors at the right time.
That's what I think. I think it's really about an incredible team. All right, number 9.
Pete Davidson, he's back on Instagram. Only this time, he is joining forces with Eli Manning. They they did a joint Instagram account together. They were posting all kinds of fun content this week. The first laying in bed together and saying, look, I wasn't going to start up an Instagram page unless I was coming back and having the goat with me, him and Eli getting comfortable. And they posted a bunch of just fun stuff. Eli pointing at Pete's tattoo that says he loves the Giants, like all kinds of stuff. I think this is a brilliant move because this is for Eli's show on YouTube. He just released like a show on YouTube. And
Yeah.
so this is clearly promotion for that. It's called the Eli Manning Show, by the way. And I think smart. You do this, you get a ton of press. Now everyone knows about your YouTube show.
I mean, listen, the winner of this is Eli for getting Pete to kind of agree to doing this. Do I think it's the funniest thing? I'm like, it's not funny. To me,
It's
not
not
funny.
funny.
But
It's like cute funny. Like you're like, oh, that's kind of fun, Not like, oh, that's hilarious. I'm not laughing. I just think like smart publicity move, something thinking out of the box, doing something different.
I don't even know if it's a smart publicity move because it's like, yeah, now people know Eli's YouTube show, but let's be realistic. Dax, are you going to go on and watch Eli Manning's YouTube show?
No, but there might be
Yeah,
people out there that do want to go and watch it, and now they know about it.
I guess so, but I wonder if Pete got paid for this. I don't know how much the account's going to be upgraded.
It depends on how much of a friendship he has with Eli. If they are good friends, there's no payment involved. It's one buddy helping out another buddy.
I'm sure Pete was like, yeah, I'll help out Eli Manning. Eli Manning is a solid quarterback. Is he one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? No, his brother is. But Eli Manning is a good quarterback. I think Eli is a quarterback that Pete sort of grew up to. Eli won a Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls when Pete was kind of young and coming up and as a Giants fan in the area. So he kind of maybe looks up to him a little bit. It's kind of cool to have that relationship. With that said, I mean, it's like, I'm surprised, but crazy. People love Pete, and this story got a lot of traction. So, all right, number 8.
Seth Rogen roasting Kim Kardashian for missing the Women in Entertainment event. This is obviously thrown by the Hollywood Reporter. And so Seth got up during his speech at the entertainment breakfast and he roasted Kim Kardashian for skipping the awards. He said, are we going to talk about how Kim Kardashian didn't show up? Is that going to happen? He said, he goes, He went on to say, I'll say this. I've seen every episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I know she's not doing something more important than this. I've seen 100,000 hours of her. She's never done something more important than this. This would be the climax of the show.
I mean, funny joke. See, that was funny. That's a funny joke. It's a funny line.
It's so good. And, he obviously came up with this last minute because she had agreed to being there to present like months ago. And they apparently had a scheduling conflict. And so on Monday, she found out that the dates were incorrect. So she couldn't show up. And she's like, I'm sorry, I don't ever cancel on showing up to events, but you guys gave me the wrong date. I had booked something else. I couldn't cancel that at this point. So no, I can't go anymore.
I believe her. I believe she's a busy person. I mean, Kim's very busy. So, funny joke by Seth Rogen. Totally mistake by it was just a screw up all around. It kind of screwed up by she had the wrong dates and she's a busy person. So yeah, I funny.
Well, she's
funny.
saying they gave her the wrong dates, not that
Yeah.
she wrote down the wrong date, that they gave her the wrong date a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a funny joke. Congrats to Seth. Looks like it was a fun award show. One day we'll get invited to them, and we'll be the
probably
only
not.
eating the food at the table. I wonder if you ever see people eat the food at the table when they're at the round tables. I'm like, does anybody actually eat the food, or do you actually drink? Do you hang out?
I think it'd just be funnier if they gave them like quinoa and poppy seeds and a bunch of just shit to stick in your teeth, so they that second they get up in front of everyone, they just got all this crap between their teeth.
I'm the only one. If we went to one of those parties, we'd be the only one. Like when there's the bread basket in the middle, but like, hey, can we have some of the bread in the middle? Like, hey, you're not
100%.
supposed to eat the bread. You're not supposed to eat the,
I'd be like, pass that over. It's free food. Pass it over.
It's like a wedding where someone comes over and says, hey, you're going to have the filet or you're going to have the fish? Like, I'll have the filet. Like, I don't know. No one ever eats the food or talks about the food. So it looks pretty cool. All right. What's next?
Christina, let's see. What number are we on here? We are on 7. So Christine Applegate sharing her first reaction to MS diagnosis. She recalls like those early symptoms about how she just couldn't walk. So she was on the Kelly Clarkson show and talking all about her diagnosis back in 2001 while shooting the final season of Dead to Me. She says, I can say it sucked balls. And then, which I love how honest she was, by the way. She said she was shooting Dead to Me and it was the hardest thing she ever did do in her life. I was diagnosed during the shooting and I didn't know what was happening to me. I couldn't walk. They had to use a wheelchair to get me to set. I was freaking out until someone was like, you need an MRI. Then she went on to say, I found out on a Monday after work that I had MS, a disease that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. And then I start thinking about the last 4 years and I have a very small symptoms. Like she starts thinking back of all the little things, being tired on set and couldn't get here, couldn't do that. And she goes, I don't know why I didn't listen to my body earlier. And she encouraged people like, listen to your body. If you feel like something's off, like go get it checked out. Cause obviously this disease has completely changed her life. But yeah, my wife loves Dead to Me, so she is all into the new season. So go check it out. It's out on Netflix, but crazy to watch this all unfold.
Yeah, I think like Christina Applegate, you still see her as the young daughter on Married with Children, and then you see her grown up, and you still see her as the young daughter on Married with Children. Now you see her with MS, which is like, man, like she's not a kid anymore. She's an adult. Like this is just wild. It's sad, and MS is, I mean, it's serious. It's just, you wonder how it's going to affect her work, and it's like, but the show Dead to Me is obviously a hit show. People love that show.
I also love how open she's being about it. Like she was obviously closed off for a little bit, but now she's coming out, she's talking about it, she's letting people in, because I think there's a lot of people out there that have MS that appreciate her transparency. You can I don't know, I like it.
100%. All right, Dax, what's number 5?
Chriselle Strauss. I can never say this girl's name. Every time, it's like such a tongue twister. She regrets calling out the People's Choice Awards while intoxicated. So if you remember, the People's Choice Awards had said, "Hey, come show up to the award show, but you can't bring anyone unless it is a cast member. You can have a +1, but it can't be someone on your own. You have to bring a cast member." And she freaked out and basically went off on them, saying, "I don't understand. you're letting all my other cast members bring other people, but why can't I? And she's basically insinuating that she couldn't bring her partner G Flip. And maybe this was like an intentional move on their part not to have G Flip there with her. She then said, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom not to tweet while intoxicated. So clearly, not happy about it, but realizing that staying off Twitter when you're drunk is a very wise decision.
Yeah, it's she posted a lot of tweets. I mean, I'm assuming she had a few drinks in her because there was just a lot.
She acknowledged that she had clearly a lot of drinks in her. Yeah, and she basically said, because of this, I'm not going to get nominated again, but I don't really care. F you. She was up against Chloe, and I guess Chloe won for best reality star.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you're going to beat a Kardashian. At the end of the day, they want a Kardashian up on the stage accepting the award at the podium.
Especially because it's an E show at the end of the day.
Yeah. All right, Dax, what's next? By the way, did I just skip a number?
So we're at number 6 now.
All right, number 6. I thought I maybe said 6. Okay.
I think. Maybe no. We are. Wow, what's wrong with us today? We're at 5. We are at 5.
Okay, so we just did. This was number 5.
Yeah, this is 5 right now. We're on 5. We're a mess.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 4.
No, we're on 5.
So we're going on to 5.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just tired. You know what happened, dude? We're gonna get into the story, and this is why I'm burnt out. I was like doing the stories, and then this big story just broke, and we're gonna get to that. I'm just burnt out. All right, number 5.
Number 5, Bethany Frankel addresses criticism over Real Housewives rewatch podcast.
This is weird, man. Did you see this? This is
people are so mad at her for doing this, and it's because she obviously said her time on Real Housewives was basically toxic, and so people are upset that she is now capitalizing off Real Housewives, going back, rewatching, and talking about it because they're like, so wait, you trashed it over here, but now you're using it to your advantage. And she says, it's really annoying people, which means I'm doing something right, which she has 100% fair point. She knows that you can't be right in the middle. You got to be either pissing people off or making people love you. That's the star quality that Bethany has always had. And doing it on a podcast and getting people to love you or hate you brings in ratings. So she's bringing in ratings. People are loving it. You saw Luann basically slam her for doing this podcast. And I'm thinking at the end of the day, like, who cares? Let the woman do what she wants. She distanced herself from Housewives. Now she wants to utilize, what she can with it. I don't see anything wrong.
Listen, she's allowed to speak up. And I guess it's good to shake people off and piss people off. It's like that's the business. But it is frustrating. It is annoying because it just feels a little bit thirsty.
So, I got to tell you. So there was this one comment she had about Luann. So Luann bashed her for doing it. And then her quote was, I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about Luann, and she spends a lot of time thinking about me. So we can thank her for that because it's certainly bringing in listeners. Every bit counts, even if it's just a little bit from her audience. It's helpful. I appreciate the promotion. It's definitely working. Like all the jabs. I don't think about her and the little bit from her audience, meaning she doesn't have an audience.
Yeah.
I just thought the queen of shade right there.
I'm just a little bit annoyed with her. I'm not going to lie. Because I just remember doing stuff with Bethany years ago. And this is when she had her talk show. And the stories I was hearing about her when she had her talk show were not the best stories. Like people just did not like being there.
I didn't say she was a wonderful person, but her comments made me laugh.
Let me ask you this, Dex. If she was on Shark Tank and she made a deal, would you have accepted it? If she was one of the sharks? I
think if she had, looking at her and looking at her portfolio, that's, I think, what says the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that her portfolio going to help me expand my business? And I don't know if her portfolio would have been the right fit for my company.
Interesting. Okay. All right, Dex. What's number 4?
Number 4 is the reason that you are tired, because this has been the biggest story of not the biggest story of the week, one of the biggest story of the weeks. But Nick Carter accused of raping an underage autistic fan back in 2001. obviously we are taping on Thursday, the same day that this news has been released. But they had a press conference held by the alleged victim and her lawyers on Thursday. Shannon Shea Ruth alleged that on a Facebook live stream while tears were pouring down her face, that when she was 17 years old, the Backstreet Boy member sexually assaulted her. And she says, for the last 21 years, I've been filled with pain, confusion, frustration, shame, and self-harm that are a direct result of Nick Carter raping me. So she is now 39 years old. And she says, even though I'm autistic and live with cerebral palsy, I believe that nothing has affected me more or had a more lasting impact on my life than what Nick Carter did to me and said to me. So she went to further allege that after he raped me, I remember him calling me a retarded bitch, and grabbing me and leaving me bruises on my arms. She added, Carter tried to scare me into silence. He was nasty and threatening. And then she noted in the press conference that she was hesitant to speak out because she believed she would go to jail if she told anyone what allegedly occurred. She said that her motivation right now is to stop him from assaulting more teens and women and hold him accountable. And just because Nick Carter is a celebrity doesn't mean he is excused from his crimes. And she says I'm a survivor and I will always be. And then what was interesting was that her lawyer then started to speak and said Nick Carter has a long history of abusing women, and people are made to look away in the music industry. So they're determined to bring Carter to justice and believes it's worth it to protect other women.
I feel bad. I mean, listen, I'm not picking sides here because I'm not saying her story is fake by any means. I don't know the truth. I don't know whose side. We'll figure that in the court once everything's going. I hope she's okay. Bottom line, most part right now, I hope she's okay. Let me ask you this, Dax, from your experience, before it gets to this press conference, does her team reach out to Nick and try to settle? And he goes, I don't know you. Screw you. Do what you need to do.
I don't know. And I think you never know. If it's something that they want to just settle privately, then yes. If it's something that they want publicity and they want people to know about, no, then they just go for it. I mean, everything that they're saying is pretty harsh in regards to if he, like, if this isn't true, that's some serious libel and defamation. If it is true, he's got some shit coming to him. You know what I'm saying? So, she went through and she detailed everything that she alleged happened. And it went down on a tour bus after a concert in Tacoma, Washington. She was in an autograph line. She said that Carter offered her like a red colored drink, which he dubbed the VIP juice. And even though she was underage and she thought that maybe it was a mix of alcohol and cranberry juice, and then got on the bus in order to perform oral sex on him as she burst into tears. And then, again, this is all alleged according to her, and then took her to a bed where he allegedly continued to assault her, even though she was a virgin at the time. But where it gets really crazy that I'm like, dang, like they are not holding back any details. Like, she says that the alleged victim said, per the lawsuit, she got HPV, which is obviously sexually transmitted infection, after the incident, and she is seeking monetary damages for the alleged crime. So, like, everything here that I'm like, this better be accurate, because you're saying a lot of stuff that could get you in a lot of trouble if this is not accurate. A depiction of what happened. That's all.
The timing is very, very interesting about this. Now, we were recording this on a Thursday. The press conference broke on Thursday afternoon. Nick Carter just arrived in New York because the Backstreet Boys tomorrow morning are going to be on Good Morning America. And then they're doing a town hall Sirius Radio. They're also doing the Empire State Building lighting. They're also doing Jingle Ball, the Z100 big concert at Madison Square Garden. So it just feels like, hey, again, I don't know, but they maybe tried to settle. Nick's like, maybe their team maybe said, we don't know you. It's all inaccurate. Do what you need to do. And then they want to get him where it hurts. So they have to do it right before he's about to do one of the biggest morning shows in the world, Good Morning America, because that's what he's going to do tomorrow morning. So the question is, again, we're recording this on Thursday. Will Good Morning America question Nick Carter about this story tomorrow?
They have to. They have to. Here's the other thing. Let's not forget that back in 2007, one of the members of Dream, Melissa Schumann, claimed that Nick Carter sexually assaulted her when she was 18 years old and he was 22. She said that at the time she was a virgin and didn't want to have sex, and that I was told that I told him that I was saving myself for the future husband. And he said over and over again, he had whispered in my ear that he tried to entice me. I could be your husband. And so this is not the first time he has been accused of doing something in this manner. So let's keep that in the back of our minds as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. I guess we're gonna have to wait to see when he addresses it. And if he addresses on Good Morning America, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of cameras on him. Yeah, pretty gnarly. All right, what's next?
What's next? What we're on 3. Prince Harry and Meghan, the docu-series has released at least 3 episodes so far. It's kind of interesting though. There is a little conflict between whether or not the production company that was working with Netflix reached out to the palace to get comments. So at the beginning of the show, right when it starts up, there's basically a slate that says, you know, that we reached out to the palace, Kensington and Buckingham, and there was no comment back. And Buckingham and Kensington said, we were never approached for a comment, so we couldn't comment on the series. I don't know where the truth lies there. I mean, there's a bunch of people involved, so you know, who knows where it lies. But they did say that they received an email. Kensington Palace said they received an email. They reached out to Meghan and Harry's production company. They didn't hear back, so they couldn't authenticate that it was actually a valid email that they should be responding to. So it all just kind of went up in the air. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, a lot of people that are well versed inside the royal family said they're not going to comment on it anyway, because this docuseries has all kind of been about Meghan and Harry's love story and how they, you know, it's their perspective of how everything went down, especially when it comes to the two of them. And they've never been able to tell this story, and they're finally being able to say it in their own way on their terms. And so why would Kensington Palace have anything to say about that? Like, it doesn't help out the situation, so I don't see them saying anything. I have not watched yet. I am super excited to watch because you guys know me. I love this royal shit, but I haven't had a second.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are talking about this. This is how you know when a story, a lot of people have interest on this. If you go to like a news site, let's just say Daily Mail, and there's like 8 stories about the same documentary, about the same episode, that means like people are clicking on it. So they just want to keep people clicking on stories. And every site that I go from the like Page 6 and everything, like there's so many stories about this. And I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched it either, but I don't know what to believe because a lot of the headlines are a little bit clickbaity. And then some people are trying to say that their stories have changed a little bit. So they're calling them out. And again, that's just what people love to hate on Meghan and Prince Harry.
Love to hate on them.
They love to hate on them.
So I guess the final 3 episodes will be released on December 15th. But I do need to sit down. I need to make time in my life because I love it. All right.
No, all right. We got 2 more stories. What's second to last?
Second to last, number 2, Celine Dion revealing an incurable neurological disorder diagnosis. She posted a very emotional video on IG this week where she was letting her fans know she's been diagnosed with this. And she's 54 years old. And she said, you know, as you know, I've always been an open book and I wasn't ready to say anything before, but I'm ready now. I've been dealing with problems with my health for a long time, and it's been really difficult for me to face these challenges and talk about everything that I've been going through. She said that she was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, which she explained affects someone like 1 in a million people. And it's a rare autoimmune movement disorder that affects the central nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord. People with this condition first experience stiffening of the muscles of the trunk, followed by over time the development of stiffness and rigidity in the legs and other muscles in the body. And then she details specific problems she was having, including mobility issues. If you know, she ended up having to cancel a part of her North American tour. Now she's canceling her European tour. She just was like, she needs to focus on her health right now. She's got all the best doctors helping her out. She's got her family supporting her. But she just wanted to let everyone know. And she gets really choked up in the video when she starts talking directly to her fans, because those are the people, you know, she's like, I do this for you. I give 100% when I do my shows, and my condition is not allowing me to give you that right now. And I want to be there for all of you again, but I need to focus on my health. So she's on a road to recovery and focusing on that. And then hopefully we will see her back on stage at some point.
Yeah, this is affecting her voice again, like you said, her mobility. She did two pre-taped videos. She did one in English and one in French. Um, I I don't know. I think people, what's going to happen. I think people are going to want to see her even more now,
Hmm.
because they don't know how many more opportunities they're going to have to see her again. Because I mean, I'm not familiar with this issue, so it's just like, is she going to be able to perform live again? So it's going to be even a
Yeah,
hotter ticket
like you
right now.
said,
People,
it affects her vocal cords. So the worse it gets, or maybe over time, I don't know how it works. Like you said, I'm not familiar with this disorder, but over time, does she lose the ability to sing, which is heartbreaking considering she literally is one of the best singers in the entire world. Like she has the most amazing voice.
I've met her before. A very, very sweet person. What you see is what you get. The way like you see her around, like on camera, and kind of playful and kind of energy. That's how she is. But she's kind of like off the beaten map. So like she appears and she's great, and then she disappears. Just don't really hear much from her. But she's
Yeah,
very cool, very nice, and I thought it was cool that she put this video. And I hope she gets the help she, you know, I just
absolutely.
I wish her the best. It's not easy. I'm sure she's a mother. It's crazy. All right, Dax, the number one story of the week.
Number one story of the week. We got to talk. Kirstie Alley from Cheers, Veronica's Closet, passed away at the age of 71. And this was shocking. I remember I texted this over to Adam and our producer, Pat, and I just said, holy shit, look at this news story. Kirstie Alley has passed away. A lot of people had absolutely no idea, us included, that she was dealing with a battle with cancer. Apparently, it was revealed that it was colon cancer. But obviously a lot of Hollywood came together, started paying their tributes all over social media. The crazy thing is, we had been texting with her. Like, how long ago was that, Adam? A couple months ago?
Yeah. We've been texting with her. She's been kind of
She had already agreed to come on the podcast. We were trying to nail down dates. She was in the middle of a move, and then we just like we had a date on, and then it was like, oh, I think she wasn't feeling well, and like we went back and forth quite a bit. And so to see the story that she passed away, I'm like, my jaw dropped.
yeah. She do you think the value, like, have you thought about, you have an item from her garage sale, right? Have you thought about
I
putting that
got
on eBay?
multiple things. I've got multiple things. I've got my French fries for anyone who's watching this video on YouTube. I've got these French fries that were at her yard sale, and I saw them in a paparazzi photo, and I went and I bought them. I've got her Christmas stocking somewhere around here as well that says
Have you thought about
Kirstie.
putting them for sale and just seeing the value of something like that? Like, is there value to something? How much did you
I
pay for that?
mean,
Do you remember how much you paid for them?
the fries were $20 because I remember being super annoyed. I was like, really, $20 for these fake ass fries? Maybe the Christmas stocking was $5, $10, something like that.
Did you
We
give
had
the money to her or to an assistant? Like, it was her.
someone else. She was over on the side, kind of towards the garage, like unpacking boxes, finding things to put out for the garage sale. But it was such a fun garage sale. Like me and a couple of the other employees at TMZ all went because it was right down the street from our office, and we were like, "Oh, this will be fun!" And like, she's got lemurs in her yard and stuff. So it was a really fun event, and gosh, I don't know,
Was there a
kind of
lot of other
sad.
people at the garage sale?
There was people there. I mean, it wasn't like massively publicized. There were signs kind of in her fancy neighborhood that was like yard sale, and you drive up and get out and just walk on. And there was a ton of things from Pier One Imports because she was like
Yeah.
the face of Pier One Imports at the time. So a lot of furniture and statues and plates and napkins and table mats and just random stuff that you would get at Pier One.
This was my Kirstie Alley experience. This was years ago. Years ago. She was very cool, very nice, very fun. She was staying at the. She was either living in Tribeca or staying at the Greenwich Hotel. And we used to see her all the time. I used to like play with Full, and she used to like flirt with me. I'd flirt with her back. Not like I was gonna try to do anything with Kirstie Alley, but like I actually think she had like, and this is maybe me being delusional. I thought she had like a thing for me, And then at the time I was starting to see someone, and I said, hey, Kirsty, like I was at some event. She's like, hey, you, and like she starts like, I was like, Kirsty, you take a photo of my girlfriend? She's like, oh, girlfriend? Oh, okay. And then after that, everything went bad. She was just so upset, like just like, oh, the illusion I guess went. But she was an interesting person. But let
Yeah.
me ask you this, Dax. The whole Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
People are putting Scientology into this story. Did Scientology affect her health?
I don't. We've talked about this. I don't know because I don't think that Scientology acknowledges cancer in that regard. Like if you've been studying Scientology for as many years as she had, you get to this like upper level of Scientology where I believe they say that once you've read the documentation that's up this high, like you're not going to get cancer. Like you are such at a high level of Scientology, you are immune from stuff. And so I don't know how Scientology then says, how do we cover up the fact that she died of cancer, or that Kelly Preston died from cancer and she would have been in that same boat of high level Scientologist? You look at it and go, think about the amount of money these people have put into Scientology over the year, or the effects that it's had on friendships over the year, like all these things that Scientology really gets a bad rap for. And I get nervous talking about Scientology because they're gnarly, dude.
Yeah,
It is a
no,
gnarly group.
it's really wild, but we will say every Scientologist is very nice.
They are very,
Bad-mouthing
very
them,
nice.
they're all very, very nice people. I just don't know what the deal is, and that's fine. They do their thing. I do my thing. I walk straight
And
ahead.
then we move along with life.
So guys, that's our top 10 stories of the week. Thank you guys for spending some time with us. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, on Instagram at Hollywood Raw Pod, on Twitter, on Facebook. We also have a private Facebook group called Off the Record, where we can answer your questions, or you guys kind of post some stories so we can kind of all communicate with each other. It's a really fun community. Leave a review. Go to Hollywood Raw or wherever you listen to your podcast. Go to like iTunes. Put in Hollywood Raw. Go all the way to the bottom. Say a few kind of words. Put 5 stars. If you do that, leave your name so we know we want to give you some shot. We want to shout you out.
Give you
so we
some
can-
love, some verbal love.
And thank you guys for listening. Find me at Adam Glyn. Find Dax Holt at Dax Holt. We'll see you guys next time.
What's up, guys? If you like that video,
There's plenty more where that came from.
make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so we can just feed you all the goodness daily.
Hurry up. Come on. Let's go.